We are looking at the prayer of Jabez, who wanted God to do great things in his life and to do great things through him. But he also knew the pitfalls to avoid as he prayed. Good morning. This is Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Thursday. We don't often pray for blessings like Jabez did, but sometimes we have them come into our lives and we're so amazed that we focus on the blessings and not on the God who gave them. You know, that's right. Some blessings can easily become a curse if we're not using them properly. The Bible says in Jabez's prayer in 1 Chronicles chapter 4 and verse 9, "Now Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. And Jabez called on the God of Israel, saying, 'Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil.'" Jabez realized that great blessing could be difficult to manage, against evil anyway. The writer of the Proverbs says in Proverbs 30 and verse 8, "Give me neither poverty nor riches, lest I be full and deny thee and say, 'Who is the Lord?' Or lest I be poor and steal." It's interesting because there are temptations at both ends of the spectrum, and we must be prepared for them. We may think that Satan is the biggest hindrance to our Christian life, but James chapter 1 and verse 14 actually says, "But each one is tempted when he is drawn away by his own desires and enticed." We often get into trouble when we desire things or experiences that are not really good for our spiritual life. They're just a part of our lusts. Jabez was doing some godly thinking when he prayed this prayer, because these sound like the same words that Jesus used when he taught the model prayer to his disciples in the New Testament. He said, "Pray, lead us not into temptation, but keep us from evil," or from the evil one. Notice that Jesus did not say, "Keep us safe through our temptations." You know, I'm afraid some believers may think they're strong enough to wander through some dark halls of temptation and they'll emerge on the other side unscathed. That's not always the case. Most often, the case is we'll be influenced in some negative way. We may not even realize it right now, but it will show up. It will linger in our minds and our thoughts, even in our actions. How can we pledge to keep from evil ourselves? You know, Bruce Wilkinson once mentioned a practice called SPAM. Now, SPAM has nothing to do with canned meat, or it doesn't really talk about unwanted emails. SPAM actually is an acronym that stands for Spiritual Preparation and Meditation. He says the best way for this to work is to determine to set aside some time when we pledge ourselves to stay away from worldly influences. We're going to turn off the television for a while. We're only going to listen to Christian music. Instead of reading magazines, we're going to read our Bible more and more every day. And during that time, it's almost like fasting from this world rather than fasting from food. Not only will we be positively influenced, but we will stay out of temptations. If we're seriously praying for God to keep us from evil, we probably need to seriously do our part also. Then we'll be more suitable for God's service, and we can handle that enlarged territory that He is giving us when He blesses us.